Welcome back to another episode of We the Bakers. Tonight I'm joined by Michaela and Zoe. Why don't you tell us what's happening tonight, Zoe?
Well, Brandon, tonight we're going to talk about whether or not Congress has too much power. Explain that a little more, Michaela.
Sure, Zoe. We'll explain why Congress does not have too much power as we demonstrate how a bill becomes a law, Congress's powers, and powers denied.
The first step to a bill becoming a law is someone coming up with an idea for the law and taking it to Congress. Zoe will represent the Senate and Michaela will represent the House. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Let's make some cookies!
The next step is once the bill is in either the House or the Senate, or in this case the Senate, the standing committee must discuss, research, and mark up the bill. Then, after getting passed by a 2/3 vote, the large group, or all the members of the Senate, discuss, research, and mark up the bill. The bill needs a 2/3 vote from the entire Senate to continue.
We'll let our audience represent the members of the Senate.
You want to sit?
Since we got a 2/3 vote, it passes on. The bill gets taken to the House where the exact same process is repeated as it was done in the Senate. If the bill gets through, Congress forms the committee conference to make sure the bill is just right. With a 2/3 vote, it passes to the next step.
Tonight we have a very special guest, Stu, the president of the Duke Senior Rams. Will you please come on set, Mr. President? Thank you, Mr. President. You can sit down now.
Congress doesn't have too much power in this process because so many people's opinions are considered, and the bill has to pass over several different groups before it becomes a law. It is reviewed so many times that it must be just right for our country.
Congress gets three main powers in government, but they're not too much. The first power is the expressed powers. Expressed powers are meant for Congress to use, like dealing with money and regulating the National Guard in congressional elections.
The next power is the implied powers that are suggested by the Constitution or making laws that are necessary to maintain our way of life, like dealing with the IRS, discrimination, military drafts, etc.
Another power is the inherent powers. These are powers that the government possesses, like controlling borders and making agreements with other nations.
Congress has all these powers to run our government smoothly, and it's not too much power because it's their job. If they didn't do it, who would?
Here we go. Ready? Powers denied were put in place specifically so that Congress didn't have too much power. This cookie represents habeas corpus, or that a person must be present in court to face their charges.
This cookie represents the bills of attainder. Congress cannot punish people without allowing them a trial.
Okay. And this cookie represents ex post facto laws, saying a person cannot be punished for doing something illegal if it was legal when they did it.
It's everywhere! Oh my god! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy I don't know. Oh shit, is that good? Nowhere to go! So there you have it, the bill process, Congress's powers, and powers denied all keep Congress from having way too much power.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, usconstitutional.net, house.gov, legislate.gov.us, and Miss Oxley.
Good night, and thank you for joining us for another episode of We the Bakers.